plays flat to Campbell. Campbell on the outside and try time to the skipper. Tyler Campbell, cut pass out to Stowers. Right foot, left foot, try. Reed Stowers in full flight. Inside to Campbell. Tyler Campbell.
Media Vintage Sports Network presents Play-by-Play podcast with Jordan Hughes.
Alrighty, good evening and welcome. Play-by-Play Rugby, proudly supported by the Media Vintage Sports Network. Jordan Hughes, Ryan Stowers, Tyler Campbell with you, but more importantly, we have two very special guests joining us today. Firstly, she's a two-time Olympian, Commonwealth Games, World Series and World Cup champion. She's the fastest Australian woman to score 100 tries on the World Series. And just 22 years of age, she has a world at her feet. She is Maddi Levi. Hello, Mads.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
And alongside her is the newest Olympian in the Levi family. She's a Commonwealth Games, World Cup and World Series champion. She's tenacious, she's feisty, but she's got plenty of heart. And just turning 21 years of age, she is Teagan Levi.
Hello.
How are we?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very well. How are you two? Good?
Oh, I'm great, mate. I just got to put it out there.
Yes.
We may need sponsorship because we couldn't even afford a fourth mic today.
No. Well, actually, I've only got four things, so.
Ah, okay,
Just,
fair enough. I'm just asking.
How
just
you
trying to get sponsors, mate.
Well, we will get some after this interview, I'm sure. How are you, brother? You good?
Yeah, good. Those are nice intros.
Yeah, I'll work on yours next week. All right, I guess we'll get into it, girls. You've fresh off the Olympic Games. I guess mixed emotions, I'm sure. Now you've had some time to reflect on it all. What is the overall takeaways, summing up the whole experience? I'll start with you, Matt.
Yeah, I guess obviously the Olympics as a whole, it's such an awesome experience, like the athletes you meet, and I think any athlete that goes to the Olympic Games, win, lose or draw, you become a better athlete. So I think there's lots of takeaways from it, and especially from our group. I think moving into LA Olympics is just, lots of tweaks and lots of things to get better, which is exciting, moving in with such a young group. And yeah, I guess it's the right highs and lows of sport. We obviously didn't get the result, but with a massive takeaway with USA winning is that USA Rugby and the fan base is now coming on and watching Rugby Sevens, which is exciting. So it's only just going to take us leaps and bounds.
Teags, for you, your first games?
Yeah, obviously my first games, it was pretty special to see all the different types of Olympians there and the different sports and how people uphold themselves there and their standards. So I think that's pretty special to have that. To see all different athletes in the Australian village and to meet them and chat to them about their story and their journey to get there was pretty cool too. So as Mad said, the highs and lows, and I guess there's a lot of learnings to take out of that, but bring on LA.
I've got to ask the question, and it's Olympics based, but how were the cardboard beds?
Well, to be fair, I had two, so I had a room to myself. So
How'd you get that? That's a bit of a win, isn't it?
yeah, it's a huge.
Yeah.
It's not what you know. No. Huge win. So I had two cardboard beds. So when one of them got uncomfortable, I just moved to the other one. So I was pretty fortunate.
I don't think it was actually the cardboard bit of the bed that was the hard bit. It was the mattress. It was so uncomfortable.
I saw a few TikToks of girls doubling up, bringing their own mattress in.
Yeah, I think most of the swimmers and athletics, they bought a mattress topper. So
Made of plastic, the mattress.
You got something?
Oh, yeah.
Long day of work.
That was still going.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at him to cure him up for next time. So yeah.
Okay.
keep going.
Roger.
No, I'll keep going.
No, you're going good.
No, I was about to jump in, but I forgot what I was going to say.
I was going to say, Stade de France, 70,000 people. That must be the most loud and biggest crowd you've played in front of?
To be fair, it was probably the most polite crowd we've ever played in front of.
Okay.
Yeah, because they had a dry stadium, so
not good for you, Tyler.
Oh, really?
A dry stadium.
No, you're allowed.
You could only drink outside the stadium, but once you were inside the stadium, you couldn't drink.
Interesting. I wonder why.
I think because the French fans just get too emotional about their sport.
Damn. How was that for you, Teague? Pretty cool?
Yeah, I think just running out for the first time and hearing the crowd roar. We went there earlier to see the stadium empty, and then we went out the back and obviously warmed up and did everything. And so by the time we got out there, the stadium was packed and you could just hear everyone cheering, whether it was the home team or not. And yeah, it was such a surreal feeling and a pinch me moment every time we ran out there.
Did you get around to many of the other sports and just have a watch?
Nah, we actually didn't.
Oh, really?
We were kind of out 48 hours after.
Yeah.
So I think some of the boys got around and watched like the handball and went to the canoe slalom the day after we were competing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we were pretty much competing straight out of the village.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
Were you allowed to stay the whole time if you wanted to? Or you had to go.
No,
No, you had to go 48
no
hours
way.
after,
Yeah.
and then you could come back for the closing ceremony.
That's a bit stiff. What are you supposed to do? Just go.
I know,
Go
and
travel for a bit.
we're the first 3 days of the Olympics.
Yeah.
So we're
Well,
not
you were
gonna-
the -1, -2 days,
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
before the opening ceremony.
Yeah, I know.
That's
yeah.
rough.
Crazy.
So,
I'm still a bit rattled by the dry stadium.
yeah.
So I'm just bringing myself back.
Yeah, the Sevens vibe too.
Don't worry, our parents found a way to drink. They were
I'm sure
allowed
they
us in the
were.
crowd
Yeah.
still.
We'll get to that iconic duo shortly.
Like, obviously, like for you guys coming back, and I don't know if you think you're locked in for the next couple of years with the Sevens. How does it look sort of moving forward? I know there was probably a lot of media speculation about what went wrong, and it's always hard. Like, I've been in environments like that before where people on the outside have an opinion about what's happening on the inside, but it still seems like you guys are a close group. Like, how do you deal with that loss moving forward, knowing you've got to wait 4 years, I guess, to have another go at it?
Yeah, I think the beauty of our sport is we start next month, our pre-season, because we go again in November. So you don't really have much time to dwell on it. You kind of feel it for a little bit and then what we can do to get better. And I think the main reason why we lost was we probably let ourselves down. You look at the first 3 games and how awesome we played together as a team, and we were just on fire, and you probably would think we'd produce gold medal winning performances in those first 3. And then with Sevens, it's a matter of seconds in games. So we just let Canada control the game, and we take quick taps instead of slowing it down when we're up 12-0, and then they get a sniff and then we end up losing it and by like having no ball. So I think we just look about how we're such a quick, fast-paced team, but when teams try and slow it down, how we can beat them at their own game.
Teagues, how'd you see it?
I think like we've had such an amazing series. Obviously started off strong with Dubai and Cape Town wins, but we won the World Series, so that's something we need to remember and keep our head up. And then we travelled obviously after, and most of the girls were pretty upset, but I was like, we've got to remember we're so young, and like this is most of our first Olympics, so that's a pretty amazing achievement in itself. And obviously to come home with a medal would have been nice, but obviously didn't do that. So I think we just need to remember like the little things, and yeah, as Mad said, like learn from the little mistakes that we did and just like need to grow. We let ourselves down in the end, and I think there's a lot of growth from us as a team and the coaching staff that will help us in LA.
What was Tim Walsh like after? How was his sort of meshing up? Very experienced coach, long time with you girls. How did he sort of attack it after?
Yeah, I think he was a little bit rattled too, as we all were coming into that. I think the thing that guts you most is that you know you're in those top 2 positions and you know you should be there contending that medal. So I think with the team we had, and we weren't underprepared, we did everything we could, and at the end of the day it just wasn't our day. So I think we all just had to feel that a little bit, and we all just had to let it sit and just make sure we were all okay. We had even some of the Oz Olympic staff, when they were saying goodbye, were in tears, because you could just feel how much it actually hurt and how much we are united as a team. So as I said, it does hurt, but with Tim and with the girls and stuff, we'll all just get around each other. We've got that bond and we've got that strength. So we're just on to bigger and better things, and don't count us out for too long.
Bloody oath.
I think like another thing leading into that Olympics, I think that you said like the worst injury run I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, those first 3 games, you still looked amazing. Do you think going into the finals, that loss of experience definitely took a toll?
Yeah, I think so. And not only just the loss of experience, I think you have people trying to fill the gaps of people we've played big games in. So winning the Com Games and World Cup, you have the likes of Maddie Ashby controlling the game, Alicia taking us forward. So I think you have girls trying to play their style of game to try and get us on the front foot, rather than just locking in, playing how they play and doing what you need. So the gaps were definitely felt in those bigger games. And yeah, no, we definitely did have the unluckiest draw with injuries.
Yeah.
I think we had...
You lost Caitlin as well on day one.
Caitlin on day one, and that's probably the bloody yellow card as well. She copped a yellow card.
Yeah, that was stiff. She's got her ACL and the girl, the referee's in her face.
I know, I was like, geez,
Chill,
that's an
yeah.
Olympic campaign to remember. But yeah, no, exactly. Do you have any texts?
Do you find you had to step up a bit? Obviously, losing Ashby, you played a pretty big part in the middle.
Yeah, I guess we lost Maddi and Alicia, so it meant that my position changed to centre, and I had to help the ball players out a little bit, as Charlotte got a little bit injured during the tournament as well. So it meant that most people were doing jobs that they wouldn't usually do, and I think we were playing more minutes than like we expected to play, and especially for me, I was playing almost 14 minutes every game, whereas in the World Series I would go on, come off, and then go back on. So I think we weren't used to that, but as a team, I think we stepped up really well to put the next person there to do the job, and those first 3 games showed that we were on fire, but just one little mistake or one little chord that doesn't go your way that can change the game instantly.
And that's huge for you in the World Series, playing 10 minutes, coming on and off, and playing full 14 in the Olympic. That's a massive step, as you boys know, playing sevens. That's tough to do.
Yeah,
Teagues.
especially in centre, in a position that I don't think I would be playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope I did a good job for the team. But I've been doing so much extra running to try and get my fitness up and to try and be the next person to step up for that team and bring some sort of go forward for the team, just like Alicia did.
Any more on-field questions before we move on to stuff a bit more lighthearted?
I guess we won't dwell on the Olympics, but looking forward,
Yeah.
like obviously you both just said, you're sort of sounding like you're committed to the next Olympics. How do you think that sort of plays out for your squad? Obviously 4 years is a long time. You've got the sort of NRLW, which you're already seeing, sort of poaching players. Like, do you think your squad's going to be the same? Do you think there's going to be a turnover of players, new players coming in? How do you think that looks over the next sort of 4 years? I know it's pretty hard to speculate, but what's your sort of thoughts around that moving forward, especially with the contracts in the NRL in particular going up?
Yeah, I think it should be, the base of it should stay the same. I guess you've got the likes of Shani Williams and Dom Detroit, who have just had an awesome career, obviously stepping away and moving into that NRLW. I think something that Sevens offers that NRL doesn't offer is just that ability to travel and see the world and play for your country month in, month out. And I don't think you can actually compare to that. Even when the contracts go up, NRL, with Sevens, it's a full-time job. We're getting paid, as I said, to travel the world. And I just think you just can't beat the Olympics. Like, you can't beat the Com Games. We've got little milestones along the way. Even though it is 4 years, we've got the Com Games and the World Cup in 2 years. And each year the World Series is also something to build on. So I think hopefully the base of our team will stay the same. I reckon we'll get a lot of young players coming through and hopefully build up that experience. But as I said, the beauty of our team is I think majority of us were all under the age of 23, 24, like par, Dom, Shani, Charlotte. So that's majority of your team right there, all under the age. So if we all stick together and get those girls that come back from injury, I think we're given another red hot crack next time.
Bloody oath. I always had the argument too. NRLW, go to Parramatta, you can go to Madrid. Like, come on, let's do the math here. It's pretty simple for me. Olympic Village. Let's set the scene there. We hear a lot of stuff, how it plays out. Do you meet any stars? There's any, there was big sporting stars you met? Is everyone playing up in there like people say? What's going on, Matt?
Ooh.
Don't have to say names.
Yeah, obviously you
Not
can
saying names.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. We met Simone Biles.
That's cool.
So,
yeah.
Tokyo, I met Kevin Durant, so that'll always be the highlight. And then Simone Biles was pretty cool to me. I think just the beauty of it is that you just get to see, like, even Australian athletes that are just on par on that global standard. Like, you have Jess Fox and Ariane Titmus just walking around downstairs. So I think the beauty of that's pretty cool. When we were in the village, it was a bit more tame because everyone was still competing. So I don't think you see many parties, but all the stories of all my friends, the close friends, the closing ceremony seemed to go off.
There's a bit on, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where all the parties happen and everything happens there.
Teagues, any stars you met?
Jess Fox and Ariane Titmus, and Jessica Mowboy, she came in
cool.
for a little bit and she rocked in and she acted as if she had known us for like years, and she was beautiful and she couldn't wait to like watch us play, and I think that was pretty amazing to see that. So yeah, just seeing some of the Australian athletes is pretty awesome.
Well, like, Jess Fox obviously killing it.
Are you gutted you'd left sort of before Raygun came on the scene? Would you have liked to have met her? I just got to put it out there.
No, we actually did pre-Olympics. We actually did an interview with her, so we're actually pretty
Thoughts?
close. Yeah, she's a beautiful, beautiful girl.
What's your take on it and what's all happened?
Oh, to be fair, I feel like you got to. Nah, to be fair, she's gone out there and she's done like her best,
Yeah, of
and
course.
that's all you can ask for. And I think a bit harsh with all the
Yeah.
memes and that. I probably couldn't handle it myself like that. She's done well, and yeah, I think we got to give her a bit of credit.
Everyone's human. I think you got to go out there and give it a red hot crack, and I think that's what she did. So whether someone thinks it was bad and someone thinks it was good, everyone's human and everyone looks at it a different way.
Well, she makes some money now. She's got the Instagram followings going up
She
day by day.
does.
So
I know.
Was it going up more? Have you checked?
Yeah, so 180 now it was.
Really?
She was at
Jesus.
4,000 when she pre-games.
Sign me up
my
for breakdancing
Yeah,
next
literally.
time.
Yeah, there's some brand deals for you.
Yeah.
Brian, Tyler? Anything before we-
You sort of see it happen with the rugby and the 15s, how people that are excelling in 15s, they sort of try to make their way into 7s for the Olympics. Do you think that'll start happening in the women's game as well?
Yeah, I guess we've already had expression of interest to cross code with the 15s game, especially with the World Cup coming up next year. So hopefully they can qualify. I think a few of us were going to come over at the end of this year, but it's just so emotionally draining and tolling the Olympics on you, and especially after that campaign. I think we all need our well-earned rest and then hopefully go over and play. But yeah, no, it would be good to see the cross code. I think Ireland do it really well with the women's 15s and the 7s 15s. They all go and play both, and they're obviously a really strong 15 side. So I think hopefully we can cross over and not help them out, but add some value to that 15s team.
So there is some potential chat of you guys World Cup, England next year?
Yeah, potential chat, expression of interest, just seeing what's on
How
the
good.
cards.
There we go.
Yeah, no.
Where do you play in 15s? What are you in? 9,
Have you
10?
played 15s?
No.
No.
Never played?
Haven't played 15s yet, but yeah, obviously
Work
the
it
door's
out.
not
What do you
shut
reckon?
there.
What posse? Where are we sticking you?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like,
What do you say?
Okay, we're putting you up front.
No,
Were you on the
thank
wing, you reckon?
The one that involves the least decisions I have to make on my own. I just catch ball.
No,
and
I feel
I'm
like
going
she
up.
needs to come
Yeah,
in.
that's right.
Hang on. It's a good spot out there. It's cold
she said something
sometimes.
about being fullback, and we're like, no, because
I'd be good under the high ball. I can
No.
kick.
Played
AFL
AFL.
girl, yeah. There's a bit of-
Kick.
Yeah, but would you like it straight or where would you
Hey,
like?
can you plug corners or what?
Exactly, I can plug corners
Okay.
unknowing.
It's just when they kick it and she's got to catch it.
I've just worked out playing AFL that I'm better when I close one eye because then it goes.
I'm sure that's not how
Straight.
Or
it
like
rolls.
aiming, like the Turkish leader.
I have to close one. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, you gotta watch that space. How good. Ilona Maher, she's obviously taken the world by storm. You guys sort of know her somewhat personally.
Yeah.
She made this podcast viral, a couple of moments we've had. Thoughts of how good is that for the game, really?
Yeah, exactly. I guess she's doing wonders for the game. And she's not just for, obviously she is a competitor, but she's for boosting other profiles and for helping rugby sevens any way she can. She sent me a message. I posted something, probably the first funny post I've ever put on my Instagram story, and she was
Is this
like,
the dress one? The girls?
Yeah, which
that
now-
moved, that did numbers.
Stitch
well,
me up.
she said to me, she was like, you make this a reel and you'll start to get people engaging,
Yeah.
if you have funny stuff. And I'm up to 10 million views on that one reel,
There you
all
go.
because she reached out. But
Yeah.
I think what she's doing for women's sport and just showing that all body types can play and we don't have to play the same and you can just be authentically you in that space of sevens. I think she's going to make moves and make changes in sevens, which is pretty exciting to see.
Yeah, I think she's like a beautiful person as well. Like you see that like they're so fake on social media, but what she is on social media is what she is off social media, and she's such a great human to like be around and just to know. And every time she sees our parents, she goes running up and she's hi mum and dad, and she'll always come up to Maddi and I, be very polite. So I think that goes a long way as well.
The amount of comments I've seen of like young girls saying, I'm watching this game because of you now. Like that's
Yeah.
great for our sport, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said what you see is what you get, because she's authentically her. We are in stitches every time she's in the dining hall making TikToks, or just whenever you speak to her. We went out in LA after and she was like, where's DuPont? I want to kiss him on the forehead. And I was like, she was like, I'm going to find him. I'm going to find that little man. And I was like, it's just like, the beauty of sevens is even though you play against these people, you spend a whole week leading up to the tournament, you all go out to the same place after. So you actually make friendships or you make bonds. And Ilona Maher is a special bond that I think any girl would be lucky to have.
I got to ask, remembering this is Tiff's choice, is she the fit for Zane?
Have you seen this clip?
No.
It's gone viral. I
Yeah.
tried to hook her up with Zane. She
Zane
commented on it.
Yeah, so we basically
Commented on our podcast. Clip.
Wait, Ilona.
Yeah.
yeah trying to stitch up with
So
Zane.
Tiff is obsessed with her
Yeah.
and thinks it's a perfect girl for Zane. So I brought it to the podcast.
Wait,
Yep.
they're the perfect girls for Zane.
Well,
Getting
you guys
right,
have
eh?
been pushed. You've been pushed away. We found someone new apparently. Anyway, so that's happened, and now she's commented on it. We're still waiting for Zane to comment back, but we'll leave that at the
Yeah,
moment.
Lona
hell,
and
someone-
Tiffany were going back and forth.
They're
on
going
the- in
back
the
and forth on
comments.
the comments. You can see it after this. It's so funny. And so many people are supporting Tiff, saying, Mum always knows right, like all this stuff. It's pretty funny to watch.
To be fair,
Imagine the
Yeah.
kids.
imagine her at our
Super
Christmas.
They
babies.
would
Yeah.
be some.
They would be
I know.
athletic.
That's what people were commenting as well.
Yeah.
They're like, the mum is onto something here, trying to make some genetic freaks.
Yeah.
Rebuild Australian rugby.
Yeah.
This is what Oz Rugby needs.
Bring her to our Christmas party. Bring her to the Christmas party.
I don't know if
Longest.
it's like maybe next year because it's not happening. He's actually going to be in LA for Christmas. So
Yeah, there we go.
I'm doing the math here. We'll
Yeah.
just
Maybe we
keep
should make
pushing
some
the agenda.
moves.
Yeah.
I'll send her a
Well, you-
message.
You've got the connection of both
I'll send her a
parties,
message
so
and be like,
get it
hey,
going.
have you seen my mate?
I like it. Speaking of the iconic duo, your parents, they're very prevalent everywhere you guys go. They were there in Paris. How nice is it to have your parents supporting you the way they do?
Yeah, I think we always say that like we wouldn't be where we are today without them. They've ridden the highs and lows. So we're really lucky to have them there in Paris, and they did a very special jersey presentation for us. And I think the jersey, every time we put it on, we don't just put it on for ourselves or for our team. We put it on for our family and everybody at home. So yeah.
Yeah, every time I'll never forget. What was the one that went viral on the Today Show? And they were hammered.
After com games
Yeah,
at
yeah.
6 a.m.
So
on the
good.
morning show. Yeah.
So good.
They're always working for our sponsors and brands too.
Yeah.
They get drunk off the field and start talking to anyone.
They're
And
networking for you.
Great network.
Third party endorsements. I'll talk about the World Series a bit. Obviously, travel the world playing footy. How actually is that lifestyle? Obviously, we see the glamour and the, but you're in planes, like you travel a lot around the world. How is it? Like,
Well, if anyone has any sponsors from Qantas or anyone and they want to
are
put
you
us
flying
in business,
or are you still in economy? What are you doing?
we're in
We're actually
economy.
row 87, right
Okay.
next to the toilets at the back.
Have you ever thrown any business ever?
No, we
no,
flew
just premium economy
and we all
twice.
carried on.
Premium. There we go.
twice.
We carried on like it was business, and
Yeah,
our manager had to go settle down, and we were like,
No,
"This is the best thing ever."
there was one time that all the teams were flying on a charter flight together, and there was like the business class, and then we were all back in economy. And New Zealand were in business, but some of them got upgraded to first class. So then all of these girls were like, "Oh my god, you got upgraded to first class! Like I want to be there." And we were all like, "Oh." They're fighting over who gets first class, and we're fighting over who doesn't get the middle seat.
Tough.
Tough times never last.
All right, let's talk about sponsorships because we're trying to get sponsors first.
Yeah.
Just got to put it out there.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Tyler, good on you.
No, I got no question.
Okay.
I just want to put it out there.
I agree. So all the teams stay at the same hotel every
Yep.
tournament. Do we actually get along with all the teams, or is there a bit of like how does it actually work? Is it a bit
Who are we
weird?
beefing? Who's Australia beefing?
Well, I'm sure we can guess
The world
it.
stage.
It's NZ. No, it is.
We will run them down.
Yeah.
And it's New Zealand.
Nah, to be fair, I think, especially in our team, we have a lot of people that, like, with parents and family from New Zealand. So some of our team gets along, like, with New Zealand.
Just not you.
No. We've got no beef with them. They're always really lovely to us, and they always speak to us whenever. The bloody French sometimes though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're the friendliest.
To be
It's
fair-
French in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
Passionate people.
But to be fair, I think it doesn't help. One of the after we beat them one year, one of the girls were trying to change their lock screen on Tom's iPad of them putting their finger up and airdropped it to the French girls.
Yeah, right.
So I think that started a bit of
A bit of bad blood. There we go. A bit of drama.
bit of drama. But yeah, no, we all stay in the same hotel. We all use the same dining,
Yeah.
like same recovery, same training. It's the worst after you play a team and you end up on the same bus with them.
Oh, you share buses as well.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
sometimes.
Yeah, right. The Irish girls seem lovely. Like Stacey Flood,
Yeah.
Baker, they all played at Bond before you
Yeah.
guys did. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we went over to Ireland last year and they showed us a good time. I get along with the Irish pretty well. It probably doesn't help, but yeah.
Teeks, any thoughts on
Oh,
into rivalries or the other teams?
no, the Irish girls are cool.
Yeah.
They know how to party just like Australia. So when we went over there, that was pretty cool to verse them, and then they show us around their little hometown. So hopefully one time they can come to Australia and see how amazing it is, and
Kind of Billy Pav.
take them around.
There
And
you go.
obviously Stacey's
40
seen it,
entries.
and she can see. So yeah.
After every tournament, do all the teams go together, same pub? Like, how does that work? Is there a thing?
It's
Yeah.
not really like you don't. It depends on the place. Sometimes you put it out there. Like we always try and organise a place.
I feel like Sydney Sevens and Perth, we try to like book a
The host
venue or
organise
something
something,
and just like organise it. But I feel like if you're not really a party country, then you kind of just pick a place to go and then send a message. And
Well, yeah, you
Goes
kind of
around.
just migrate to wherever. And
Do we have a favourite spot? That's, I guess, let's go off field first. What's the best spot for a post tournament?
Cape Town.
Really? Okay.
But that's,
Cape Town's fun.
to be fair, Cape Town's fun, but it's because we go to this little. It's called Cafe Caprice, and it's probably 10 meters by 10 meters, and every team tries to fit in
Every
there.
man and their dog are
and
like
it's so
squished.
sweaty.
Jesus.
No, it's fun because obviously it's cheap drinks and
Yeah.
everyone there together. But then I don't know, home is like so good
Yeah.
because
Madrid was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was your first taste of Madrid?
Yeah,
Good spot?
Madrid was pretty cool. I don't really remember much of it, but it was a very late night, and I was asleep the whole next day waiting because we fly out at night the next day. So
oh yeah, but you get kicked out of the room at like a certain time, like 10 a.m. or whatever.
Can you imagine the walk of shames the next morning?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
they're
No,
terrible.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, right.
Tegan did a good rendition of Scissor
Oh.
in
You got
Madrid.
nervous then, didn't
I
you?
was like,
I saw your face.
I was like,
Oh yeah, here we
I don't know
go.
what.
Hey, Teagues, look
Let's
out.
hear it.
Actually, I haven't done
Let's
it.
hear it.
What do you got?
No. We're good.
Guilty. I did some.
She's like, fuck, where's this going?
She's like, oh shit.
I did for the Oceania last year. Did commentary with Henry Hutch.
Yeah.
And he was sort of telling me what it's like and some of the stories. And man, it sounds fucking wild. Eh?
Oh, I'm
Well,
telling
he's
you,
loved up now, but
Yeah, he's loved up.
it's a
yeah.
breeding ground for.
if you want to
Athletic.
find love, if you want to find
Yeah.
love, don't go
on the
World Series.
Yeah,
if you
okay.
want to find some fun, then
place to be.
yep, because every man and their dog go to the same place. So
Yeah.
The RGs, I've heard the RGs are wild.
Oh, it's
the
quite.
RG's Maddi.
Oh yeah.
No, the
Pick,
boss-
pick your flavour.
Might have to move along before someone gets thrown under the bus here.
Too far gone.
Nah, one of them has a crush on Mum.
On your mum.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's,
right.
whenever he sees her, he yells out, "Mama, Mama!" Like runs over and gets pictures.
But that's all he like. The only English he speaks.
Is
What, mama?
about your mum.
Mama,
Hello,
Whatever
and
works.
mama.
hot.
I guess over your time, do you have any funny stories? Doesn't have to be fucking rude, but just generally funny stories that comes to mind on tour?
Ever left anyone behind? Ever left
SS?
anyone behind? Like left someone behind?
Yeah, but that was the boys.
Yep. Henry Hutchinson got left behind one year.
Oh, okay.
What?
To meet
you
us
do
at
that?
the airport.
In another country?
Oh, well, he had to make his own way
to
to the airport. Darby Lancaster left his passport at the hotel, and we just drove an hour. So
Lovely.
Also, not as bad as our tour to Dubai, where we left Nixon in Dubai for like a week.
I remember that. Oh my. Well, I got one, but it kind of makes our team sound stupid. But enemies came into
oh,
training
That's me.
before we.
What was the title?
The chef
She's the boss of-
commissioner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So she's, hi, I'm enemies. I'm the chef.
Australian legend as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. So if you don't know who she is, you
He does not know who he is. She is.
like Australia's greatest cyclist.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Enemies.
even,
Just
I didn't even
like-
know that you
Come
were
on,
saying
you
a
got-
name. I thought that was like a brand or something.
Yeah.
No, but
Enemies.
she walks in and she's like, "Oh, I'm the chef. Nice to meet you."
But
Oh,
no.
no.
But we go to training in the afternoon,
What are you
right?
cooking?
And BB and Tegan go, "Did you meet the chef? I wonder what she's going to cook us." I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Oh, that girl, Anna." I was like, "She's like Australia's greatest
Who said that? Which girl?
athlete." Bian and
Me.
Tegan
Oh,
Levi.
okay.
I was like, "She's like Australia's greatest athlete ever. Broke her back, won gold."
To be fair, we both just turned 21, so
But she introduces herself as the chef.
The
I,
chef.
I can see where the
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
mix up from.
you're an Australian athlete,
You should know who
you
this
should
person
know who enemy is.
Regardless of how old you are. These girls are younger than you two.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Mate, we gotta.
I cannot remember when I ever watched cycling.
Okay.
Okay,
I
I'll put
only
it out there.
know
Lance Armstrong.
that's the one. I was about to
Yeah,
say
that's the
Neil.
only
Yeah,
cyclist I
the
can
drop
name off the
shit,
top
yeah,
of my
great.
head.
I definitely would have said Neil.
Any other crazy stories on tour before we move on? you want to mention?
Crazy stories.
Surely you and Castley, you dangerous trio, you guys together.
I'll save it
That's-
for my
that's the vibe I get
biography.
Biography.
No, nah.
Maddie and
just think we
Charlotte
like-
have rumours that they're dating.
Oh yeah,
okay.
we get
That's a new one.
when we first started, we got comments all the time.
Right.
True or false?
False. Sorry to all
Thanks,
the.
Tyler.
No, I don't know. I think us three just really like to party.
Yeah, I've heard the Aussies go the hardest.
The Aussies do go the hardest. Sometimes we go too hard and go home too early
I've
because
heard Teague just shit on the piss. Is that accurate?
Yeah, they threw me under the bus
To
in
be
this
fair-
podcast and said she's shit value and shit on the piss.
I didn't say shit value. I said,
No, but they said it in their podcast, so
what's going on, Matt?
you've got
Was that with
some
the
explaining
Coco
to do.
guys with Drew Mitchell? That one?
yeah. Oh, I didn't mean it. Maybe. I'd still take you out over anyone. You can fight.
Well, you're
people
21
for-
now. Hopefully you can show a bit of
They both
To be fair,
drink
she's
their
actually,
alcohol and they go.
You can be shit on the
silly.
piss and still be fun.
Thanks, Ryan.
facts.
To be fair, she actually, she's coming around.
All right.
In Croatia, she probably.
It's because I'll beat them on the piss.
How was Europe, by the way? Have you-
Yeah, it was pretty fun until
while we're there.
I had a really big night, and then the next day,
We were walking in
booked
Croatia.
my flight home.
Oh, no.
We were walking in Croatia and it was our last night and the girls are staying an hour ferry away. So they ended up ferrying. We went on a boat all day and then they were like, oh, we'll stay there the night.
10
And
to 6.
yeah, 10 to 6 and we just went to the beach club and had a few drinks there and
Yeah, wasn't
Maddie
good.
decided that she couldn't actually handle her alcohol. So then when we started to walk to our next club, we're
It hit
walking
me.
and Maddie just all of a sudden was like vomiting as she was walking,
Oh.
like
Yeah, I
vomiting
was.
and
Projectiles.
vomiting.
Everyone thought I got spiked.
And then she was like sweating and everything and I got so angry. I was like, this is our last night and you just ruined it. Like, you made everyone go home. It's like 7 p.m.
Not
and-
oh my god, are you alright?
Yeah, yeah.
Does this have
Fuck you.
beeping?
No.
Oh,
This is
okay.
what?
Beeping. If she swears.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no.
I
No,
was-
this is,
she
this
was
is a...
PG.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's R-rated. I don't really
Just
care.
swear.
Yeah.
I was so
"Are you
angry.
fucking taking the piss? This is our fucking last night. She goes, give me a bag. And I gave it to her and she goes, you can't even look after yourself. How are you meant to look after your fucking bag? Let's go.
I
Let's
was
go.
so angry. And because there was like 6 or 7 of us and
I am
she
sweating.
made us go home at 7 p.m. but we all had to walk up and she was like, I can go out. Like, we can go out. And then we ended up in bed by like
I was gonna
7:30.
soldier.
What was the poison? What went so wrong?
I don't
Just a
know.
bit of mix and matching.
Bit of mix and match. Things that I haven't done in ages.
One of those ones.
Yeah.
Any questions before we move on to something else?
On that, are we getting a redemption arc this weekend for Teague's 21st then?
Yes, we are.
And is Teague's gonna prove that you're better on the piss?
No, she won't because
Well, it sounds like you've
Yes,
got
I
some work
will.
to do if you let the team down last. That's what I'm
Mate,
hearing.
She let the team know last night. 21
21 shots.
shots. I reckon this weekend will be wild.
Look out.
Look out.
Just quickly, I wanted to touch on, well, so we know what you guys can do on the field, but you're both, young 20s athletes, very marketable as well. Obviously, your social numbers are going up. There's third-party deals, there's brand deals. How have you sort of handled that sort of things? It must be a bit of a whirlwind because people obviously, at you to do, like us, do a podcast or, can we do this, can we do that? How's that been?
To be fair, this is probably the first thing we've done
Yeah. Okay.
since we came back. I think just knowing, like, we've learnt to say no. I
Yeah.
think that was the big thing. Like, I hate letting people down and I don't want people to be like, oh, she's a bitch and she's not
Yeah.
coming to. So, like, just learning to say no was the, like, main thing that we've really learnt. And I think having managers like Matt Rogers and Craig Clifton and Kim, they do so much work behind the scenes for us. Like, their biggest thing was to just play footy and then they were going to look after the rest. And they've done wonders for us, like both contract-wise and third parties. And I think they're the type of management company that's actually genuinely, like, caring for the athlete.
How's it been for you? You're obviously a bit younger.
Yeah. I feel like Maddie obviously says yes to everything. So it got to a stage where we
Tegan says
had
no.
to actually say no and put ourselves first. And like definitely phone calls and interviews and everything. But yeah, we definitely learned to say no and hopefully like other people respected that. And it's pretty disappointing when we didn't get the win or get a medal at the Olympics, but so many people want to do interviews with you still.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I think it's pretty cool to see that people are still interested even though you don't get the result. So
And because obviously in the modern world, the Instagram, building your own profile, obviously you two, create content and stuff, and you've got to build that aspect to it. It's such an important balance to have. Look at Ilona Maher, what she can do. She can change your whole life from having followers, and obviously you guys are continuing to grow in that space.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the hardest thing with us, and obviously Ilona does so well at it, is being a full-time athlete and making it. You see all these part-time athletes blowing up because they've got the time to make the content and actually go through it. But when we're training 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then we're doing that full time, 4 days a week, it's kind of hard to actually make content. So, I think just trying to utilize it as best as we can, and especially while we're off, just working on our brand and letting people know the real us. And I think that's the beauty of doing stuff like this and doing interviews and stuff. Even though we say no to some that don't obviously benefit us at that time, I think it's good to get out there and bring exposure to rugby sevens and keep building that, because I think athletes are the new wave of marketing and they're only just going to take off more.
Absolutely. The TikTok, the YouTube, it's you can make money doing it, so
yeah,
I don't blame you.
Exactly.
So we'll come back to you guys a bit as the show progresses, but we'll get into the Rugby Championship on the weekend, boys. New Zealand over Argentina, 42 points to 10. Big demolition and a big response, Tyler. Bounce back.
Yeah, obviously a good result, and I thought for that first 40, that's the best sort of 40 minutes of All Black rugby we've seen in a long time. The physicality they brought into the game, the sort of edge you got from Artie, Savera and Blackadder sort of leading that physicality, and I thought they sort of came with a game plan that involved a lot less kicking, which I think that's when New Zealand's at their best, and if they did kick, it was attacking kicks. You saw the little dinks over the top to counter the sort of line speed, and they put on the clinic. I guess the only disheartening thing, or I guess critic as an NZ fan, is the second half. They weren't great. We saw a lot of what they did wrong in that first test against Argentina, and I just don't think they can afford to do that going into, not this weekend, next weekend, and 2 games in South Africa. Easily probably the top team in the world at the moment, and if we want to steal a game there or win both, we've got to play like we did in that first 40 for 2 lots of 80. So positive signs, but obviously moving forward is still a big step to sort of take moving into South Africa.
Ree, Eden Park Fortress, how would you make of it?
Yeah, well, I think we knew going into that game that New Zealand were going to bounce back hard, and sort of what Tyler said as well. We need to be able to play 80 minutes if we want to match it with the Springboks, and that first half was amazing, but the drop-off is no good. And watching the South Africa game and how they're performing at the moment, it's
frightening.
Kind of flags in the air,
Will Jordan, bounce back, 2 tries, he's carving up. Do you think he stays on the wing? Do you reckon he eventually goes 15? What do you reckon?
I'm not too sure. I'd like to see him play at 15 when McKenzie is at 10 to see how much they can complement each other. But for the moment, that back 3 spot's so hard to get. Sever Reece isn't playing, and he's arguably one of the best wingers in Super Rugby this year.
Girls, do you follow much of the Rugby Championship? Did you see much of the footy the weekend?
A little bit, not too much.
What do you make of the All Blacks? Any thoughts?
Yeah, no, exactly the same, I guess. 50 wins, was it now, at Eden Park?
There we go, stat.
Yeah, that is unreal.
Yeah.
That is
crazy, yeah.
That
They
is
haven't
just
lost
crazy.
since 95.
Yeah, that is...
To France, yeah.
That's my whole life. That's crazy.
That's an actual fortress.
Yeah.
On the Will Jordan point, I didn't think he was great when he moved to 15 in that game.
Yeah.
The only credit I'll give him is that was his first 80 minutes this year.
Yep.
Because obviously he didn't play all of Super Rugby, and he probably was a bit fatigued that back end, but he probably tried to do a little bit too much at 15 in terms of running the ball back and got turned over a couple of times. But on the wing, he was what we expected. I forgot how fucking quick he is.
Yeah.
You saw that Perinara offload, and you thought, oh, he's going to get 5-10, and then he took off, and no one got close to him. So he's a world-class finisher and a world-class player, and he's only going to grow as the year goes on, because his 3rd game back this year, if you count the NPC game.
He's a freak. New Zealand bounced back in a big way, and then over to Perth, Australia back-to-back defeats, 12, South Africa 30, 11-9 at half-time. The weather was torrential. 58,000 people turned out. Another disappointing performance, but South Africa just do what they do, Ree.
Yeah, I think it doesn't look like the Wallabies are playing that bad. It just looks like South Africa are just so good. We used to watch the All Blacks and you would be like, they're so clinical. You make a mistake and they're going to score points. And now watching the Springboks, that's exactly what they're like.
There's teams like 2011, 2012 All Blacks.
That
sort of level.
Well, the experience that they have is unmatched in any other team in the world. So,
And the depth.
yeah.
The amount of players they changed on the weekend.
How'd you see it, Tyler?
I think Australia made a mistake going for too many penalties. Like, obviously, didn't score a try in the end.
No, we
So-
scored 1 try and 2 tests.
Yeah, so, like, they got up to 12. They had another shot. I know Noah misses that go-ahead kick, but for me, they needed to, at some point, fire a shot. Because you're not going to beat... Well, they're not in the same sort of, I guess, class as South Africa to beat them with penalties only. And especially with South Africa having Andre Pollard on the bench, that can knock them in anywhere in the 60s. So I think they didn't fire a shot there. Didn't help sort of losing their props. I know that uncontested scrums probably did suit them because they weren't under the pump in that area anymore, but you saw the lack of weight when it comes to sort of defending more tries and the physicality around the park. And I think that's where South Africa ended up running away with it because they were just too big. When you sort of lose 3 front rowers, you don't have the weight behind you to sort of back those mauls or win those collisions. So I think that's a big loss, and it's interesting to see the changes they've made going into Argentina, to be fair.
Teagues, obviously you probably know all these Wallaby guys. Thoughts on, I guess, the 15 side of the game with the Wallabies?
Yeah, I didn't actually watch the game on the weekend, but no, I think that we trained with them in 7s and they came over and we played some 15s, just kick and chase and some stuff around there. So I think they're very experienced like that. But yeah, as Tyler said, you got to score tries. You can't just keep getting penalties against these bigger teams and these stronger, more physical teams. So yeah, I think you need to go forward.
Good analysis there.
Right, especially against South Africa, because when they turn over the ball,
They're so
they
quick.
can score points.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
And they blew
outside
tries
backs.
on the weekend as well.
Yeah, they blew tries, and that one was it Creel that put it through for the winger, and he just the fullback.
Oh, the grubber? Yeah, and he
Yeah,
skips up. Yeah.
Bro, that was in torrential rain,
Yeah.
and he just nails
Gas.
it perfectly. The ball sits up perfectly for them. Against a team like that, they're using their defense as attack. They're creating those opportunities by putting so much pressure on the attack, and then they force an error, and then they're so good with their transitions. Yeah.
I think the general public's got to realise that South Africa, back-to-back world champions, they're the best in the world.
Yeah.
Australia, we're literally starting from 0 again.
Yeah,
People forget that
100%.
a lot.
Yeah, I think especially under Joe Schmidt, I think if you're a fan, you're also thinking it's just going to change just like that. But I think you can see the positive difference he's already making with their games,
definitely.
the
Yeah,
line outs
definitely.
and just their even though went for too many penalties, their penalty play is getting better and just going to keep going under him. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but as you said, South Africa is so clinical and they've just got that depth within that team. So unfortunately, you're not going to see improvements against teams like that.
World class. Tyler?
Positive, I think, is they were better disciplined.
Yeah.
If you've looked at the sort of last 12 months, they've been easily the worst sort of tier 1 disciplined team out of sort of everyone in the world. And it sort of cost them. You saw against South Africa, that first test, they gave away 7 penalties in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, jeez.
You can't win a game and it comes off their D normally because they've been real passive in D. I think they were a lot better at that on the weekend. They came forward, they made their tackles, and it's easier when you're going forward to sort of not give away dumb penalties or get stuck in the ruck or sort of give your 7s and whatnot a chance to sort of play the ball. And on the note of 7s, Tizano, what was that his name?
Good Carlo?
Yeah, the 7. He's been good in those 2 tests.
Yeah.
Probably still not ahead of Fraser for me,
He's tough.
but it's
Works
showing
hard.
some, I don't want to use the word depth because does he start for any other sort of international side? We don't know, but he's sort of showing that there's going to be guys competing, and when guys are competing, that's going to make everyone better. So I think he didn't miss a tackle. He was 36 from
that stat.
36 in 2 tests, which is a lot of tackling, and
Yeah, hard.
against a big South African side, it's pretty good. We can break that down, work out whether they were positive tackles, or they were just sort of the grab and the guy still runs a couple of metres, but it's still a good stat to have.
We saw today the Wallaby squad got announced. Friend of the pod, Joshy Cannon, going on tour. He was on the pod last week.
Yep.
Wallaby next week. So
He'll be
look
a
out for
Wallaby
you
next
two,
week.
He was actually meant to come to Snow Machine with us.
Oh, true.
Me, Jules, and Connor were going to Snow Machine in Queenstown.
Next
And
week.
Are you going? When's that? Next week?
Yeah, is it next week? Yeah, next week.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and now he can't come.
Got it. But also good.
On to bigger things.
Yeah. No way. This was bigger.
Zane obviously didn't get selected, so that means he gets to come to my 21st, which I'm
Oh,
stoked
okay.
about.
There you go. Bless the...
Kick a man while he's down, but
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure he's
Jesus.
gutted.
I'm sure he's
sure that was his
stoked now.
priority.
No
Teagan.
way. Yeah,
Damn.
the 21st
Sure, that was his
definitely
first
top of the
thought.
list.
Far
I
out.
was like, oh shit, yeah.
Jesus. So week off this week for footy, and then we'll preview next week's stuff. On the tipping front, you two were perfect. Tyler Perfect gets an extra point. Malcolm marks the double with the try scorer, so
Told you, mate.
takes an early lead.
Should be triple
Aye.
for off the bench. I got the
you-
try
I don't know.
scores.
We're doing the extra points for try
Well,
scores.
yours
We never
didn't
did
score,
that.
mate. You said Valentini didn't score, so. All right, let's move on to a bit of club rugby, boys, on the weekend. Major semi-final, Brothers 33, West 26. O'Connor was the difference. Did we see much of this?
Yep, I watched the
Thoughts?
whole game. West came out firing. That first kickoff sort of set play they ran was outstanding, and
Yeah.
they were the dominant team, I'd say, for most of that game.
They blew that, I thought.
Yeah, they sort of. There's a couple of moments. There was one Mason Gordon made a break where I think he probably should have looked to pass. There was a couple of dropped sort of kicks and passes in crucial times when they had Brothers on the back foot. But I thought a big difference with Brothers. Yes, O'Connor was outstanding, but was Paddy James being moved into 12?
He needs to be 12 to start, don't you?
Yeah, and I understand, like, Dre was there, and I'm gutted that kid's picked up a bit of a shoulder injury because he's looking like a promising prospect. But I just think when Paddy James came into 12, bit of experience, sort of good at sort of that cheat line where he gets himself over the gain line. But the way him and O'Connor sort of interchanged in that 10-12 role with their passes, Brothers got to play a bit more expansive and move that West forward pack around. And I think ultimately that sort of created the space for them to sort of score their tries and get West on the back foot, because you never really thought Brothers were in the game until they were ahead,
Yeah.
which sort of shows the type of team they are. And that's sort of what we said last week. They're a championship team. They know how to win games, even when you don't expect them to win.
Ray, see any of this?
No, I didn't see it.
Sweet. Girls, do you follow much of the club rugby at all?
We follow the women.
Okay, yeah, they're going. Aren't they good, the Bond girls?
Yeah.
Are they grand final?
Holy!
Mate, that was so
Clinic.
good.
Oh my
Clinic.
That
goodness!
was
Some
so
of
good.
those tries.
Eva Capani.
Even the chip and chase.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
she going
Is
to
he
be
just run
playing
over the
finals,
top?
though? Because I
Yeah,
saw
no, I
Wallaroos
think
are
she
in
is.
camp today.
No, I
No,
think
she
she's
is. She is. She is.
I'm going to say, without her, I think that's a 30-point difference.
Amali
She's that
too.
good.
She makes a huge difference.
Diane.
Yeah.
She'll be with you guys soon, I
Yeah.
reckon, for sure.
For sure.
Diane as well.
Yeah. Speed
The
out
alpha.
line. Yeah. Mate, they're looking the goods.
I know.
Mel Wilkes. Let's not forget about Mel Wilkes.
Yeah,
She was
why is
Milky
she
Way.
not in the Wallaroos? For goodness sake.
Oh.
It's just ridiculous.
I'm not going to break
She's
that
a
down.
freak.
Yeah,
Is
she
it
is.
Cecilia Smith? She was the other 12, and
Yep.
Wilkesy just destroyed her.
Yeah.
Wilkes is not a 12, though.
Well, she could be. What is she? 13?
She's a 13.
But Ken played 12.
No,
Really? She was at that level, maybe. Not at Wallaroo level.
not at Wallaroo level.
Yeah, yeah, she played well. All right, the idea is a feisty character. You guys know him, Louis Wershon.
Oh,
Like the brothers guys are winding him up, and he just bite every time.
oh 100%.
Yeah.
He
But
bites
he's
when
cheeky
we.
as well.
yeah, he
Yeah.
asked for it.
I was
He's
about to say,
crack
he
up.
bites
Yeah,
when
he
we.
seems very funny.
I love Louis.
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but he seems like a funny
Louis,
character.
Louis. I remember actually when we were in London last year and we were FaceTiming all the brothers boys and we were just, because they were about to play Louis and we were just giving them shit and they were all biting at
Yeah.
him playing.
Yeah, he's a feisty character. He played well. On Sunday, UQ 33-17 over the Magpies. UQ just too good. Jock Campbell again, Greeley.
It's sort of what we touched on last week. There's something about the way UQ play that doesn't suit Souths.
Yeah.
Like, Souths just, when they were never in that game or felt like they were ever going to sort of throw a punch. Like, John Bryant scored that try earlier. That was sort of against the grain. I feel like UQ left a lot of points out there. Interesting to see UQ dominate them in their maul. Normally that's a sort of strong point of Souths, and they sort of stopped Souths ball runners going forward. Scrum as expected. Souths dominated at scrum time, but that was sort of the only ascendancy they had in the whole game. So credit to UQ. They got a big task against West this week. Both these teams sort of going into finals, I think we're on 7, and I think UQ's now on a 10-game win streak. So they're sort of the form team.
Shit. Last time they lost was against you guys.
Yeah. They won every game in the second round and then won their first semi. So
Wait,
this
didn't
will
we
be an
draw with
interesting
them?
He drew you guys. Remember?
We drew them.
But they didn't lose.
Little wins.
Yeah.
You know, so
They're not on a 10-win streak then, are
Sorry.
they? Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Nah.
Get them off the potty.
Let's talk about then West UQ. What do you think? Picks on that front.
I want to give UQ benefit of the doubt, but I just think West. Well, I'm interested to see West team sheet because Masisi Dawai went off injured, and I think that's a huge loss if he's not playing.
Unreal. Yeah.
Other thing is who comes back for West. How long's LeBron out? The 12. How
Well,
long?
it was just concussion. So
was it just
I can be
concussion.
back.
He'll be back in. David Vayu.
Maava's gone overseas.
Maiva's overseas, but he hasn't played in a while. But David Vayu, I think, is a big into that team as well. So if they're on the team list, I'm leaning to more towards West. But UQ, a lot of experience in that team. A lot of players that have won finals in that team. So they're still in there, but I'll go with West because I think they'll be hurting after losing a game that definitely should have been theirs on the weekend.
West or UQ girls? Take a pick. What do you reckon?
West. We're going to support Louis. Back
Okay,
Louis
there we
in.
go.
Yeah, West.
Ray?
West Gore.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah, come on, girls.
rip this podcast up. We're never doing it
Full
again.
shots at hard, come on.
You're done.
Sorry, obviously.
Yeah, there we go.
UQ.
Yeah, I reckon UQ might dust it.
Yeah, I reckon the way that they play, just around the corner, fast as, I think it's going to be hard for West to keep up with the forward pack that they have. And like you said, against forward packs like Souths and West, if you can make them work, you'll probably win the game.
How good. So that should be a good one. All right, so we'll go back to sort of you guys a little bit. I guess we sort of know who you are on off the field, but the people that don't, what do you guys like to do? What's your hobbies outside of rugby? What do we get up to?
Drink.
Yeah, that's one of them. No, I love going to the beach.
Yep.
Always been a beach girl, whether it's living on the Goldie or in Sydney. So I think in our off time, or if we get a little break spare after training or whatever, straight to the beach and just like relaxing, chilling at home.
Can you surf?
Yeah, well, probably
Really?
not. I actually
When I
have
was younger, yes. Maddie has a board that she had to have for her birthday about
it sat there for a
how
year.
many years ago? No, I reckon like 2.5 years ago. Had to have it, and it's still every time we come
You haven't
home,
ridden it at all.
it's still at home.
Oh.
Once.
Twice. We did surfing though for
We went to
Oh,
5
like
years
surf
of school.
lifesaving?
No, we did
No.
surfing as
Oh,
a
like
subject
actual-
in school.
Yeah.
What?
We
You guys
went
Miami
to
girls,
Broadbeach
yeah.
Oh,
State School.
Miami, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, went to Broadbeach State School and then Miami High. So surfing was a subject. And
Probably explains a little bit.
That's gun.
No, we like to
yeah.
read too.
Okay.
Big on reading.
Well, what are you reading at the moment, Mads?
I just finished The Housemaid. It's a little bit of a thriller about like this maid that gets hired.
Okay.
I don't want to spill it too much, but I'm on to the second one. So
I started reading and then I got bored. So I
stop.
stopped.
It's
I don't
all
think
changed
Tegan's finished a book in her whole life.
Yes, I have. Elodie Pullen's one.
Oh, one.
One. I've read one full.
I've just started
That
reading
I
as well.
remember.
Really? What are
Yeah.
you reading?
The Bible.
You need it.
I was about to say you should have read that a long time ago.
God can't save you, mate.
I'm not bad.
Don't go to church. The church will burn down.
I'm not that bad, am I?
Nah.
You tell me.
I don't know.
Also, have you guys heard the chat about the Aussie Sevens program moving to Brisbane?
Yeah.
Zach,
So I
Huge.
that's great
we
for you
kind
two.
of find out, like, we're the last people to find out about it always. And
Yeah.
people are like, oh my God, you're moving to Brisbane. We're like, oh, really? Are we?
It used to me.
Wait, is it actually happening?
Nah, I think
There's still a lot to go on. There's still
it's just
funding.
the funding. Once we get the
still-
funding, then we're able to move.
Is it all of it?
Yeah, so the
Men's and
funding
women's?
Nah,
and
just the
then
girls.
just the girls.
Belarus as well, potentially, or
I think so. I think once we're based up here, they'll like come. I think they already have a little section there, but they want to redesign, knock down that other grandstand, make
Yeah.
it like Reds, and
they
then
need to before Olympics. That's
yeah.
the plan.
So I think with funding wise and with everything else, it's more beneficial for us to be up here. So
I reckon there's
so
still
good for you
about
girls.
3 more years.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Would we like Sydney? Or your thoughts on living in Sydney? Coming from the Gold?
Busy.
yeah,
Bit of a shit show.
Expensive to live. Very expensive to live. And busy. But it's basically like Goldie. Love living by the beach and literally just go to training or to the beach or home.
Is this you two together, roommates?
Yep.
Lucky me.
What's she like, or both of you? What's she like to live with?
How many fights do you have in a week? Let's go.
We're actually pretty good. Like, we don't really fight, but we
When we
only
say
fight
that,
when
we
Maddie
fight.
doesn't clean up or doesn't do stuff around the
Are you a bit of a
house.
grunt?
I
Or
can
when
tell he's
Maddie-
the chill one.
or when
and-
Maddie chases Tegan in a tackle and then she hits me at training.
Yeah, can we elaborate on this? Because
Yeah, you guys.
there was one where Mads messaged me and Teagues messaged me because they were fighting each other because they were doing a drill and Tegan was about to score. And we've talked about Maddie on this on the podcast. You know, Maddie never gives up. So
Especially
Maddie-
if it's
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So Maddie did that to Tegan and tackled her over the line, and Tegan dropped the ball, and it just erupted. And then Tegan
Tegan
slapped
got fired
Maddie.
up. Oh, no.
Did I get this right?
You hit her.
Tegan held me like this and she goes, I laughed.
I said she's feisty.
To be
I told you.
fair, I grabbed her.
But they didn't talk to each other for a few hours.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny, and I've just sitting there getting the snaps from both of them thinking it's damn
Yeah,
hilarious.
Tegan's grabbed me and I'm laughing in her face. I'm like, you're not going to hit me. Like, we're in
I just go,
training, the coaches.
whack.
And she just slaps
Open
me.
hand.
And then I was
I
like,
just go whack, and then I just walk away, and then all the coaching staff, like, one, like, just laughed, and he was like, oh, that'd be a red card, and
Well-
you get this many weeks, and then our S&C was like, apologise, and I was like, no, don't tell me to
What did you
apologise.
feed it back to her? Or?
no, because I was like in my
Imagine
head.
coaching women.
Imagine if we got our contracts.
That's sassy. Like
Yeah.
they'll be like, no, I'm not doing that. And
Yeah.
You're like, Ah, fuck.
Yeah, he was like,
make
apologise.
him.
I was like, no. And then we get home and
Well, I just
Mum-
thought like I couldn't go back, and I'm the bigger sister. I have to be like real responsible here. Imagine if we got our contracts ripped up and like what happened? And I was like, oh,
You're a cat.
yeah.
What happened? Oh,
But the next day,
me and T started beating the shit out of each other at training because I tackled her.
the next day though,
No, we spoke to Mum after, and Mum was like, Teague, you gotta say sorry. And I was like, stop telling me to say sorry because it's making me not want to say sorry anymore.
So stubborn.
And then we called Dad, and he was laughing his head off, and
And I
then
was
she
crying.
was crying.
I was like,
She was like, Dad, like you're supposed to be on my side and make me feel better.
but
and
in all
stuff."
honesty, I am stronger, so I would hurt her. That's what.
Actually,
you agree with that, or-
wait, I've got a question. The real question is, who would win in a fight? Like,
Yeah,
have
we're
you bet?
spinning the podcast. Back.
So
Yeah, what do we
spinning
got?
it back to you because everyone at training, that's
Mad's got that
always
reach already though, hasn't she?
everyone says.
Oh, strength. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Teague got the Mike Tyson about
Yeah,
it. Get
one
in
punch.
close,
Got the dog in it.
bite the ear.
Yeah, I think you do have that. I've seen you in the field.
I feel like
Fucking
Tegan
angry,
has
I think.
more anger to like
Yeah.
summon up and be like,
Yeah, but if I was to fight, I'd
Yellow
have
card
to have
queen.
that anger.
yeah, but you wouldn't.
if
Yeah,
you
but
had to
you're
pick
just
one,
too chill.
pick
You're
one
just too
out of
chill.
both of us.
I
'cause
reckon you could
it's,
land some killer
the
blows.
chat at
Imagine
training.
just keep getting up and just wouldn't
Hit me
accept
up.
that.
Maybe this is an idea for us.
This is
Maybe.
A media
actually,
vintage fight night.
It's a
Sponsor.
good content
yes,
idea.
yes. Actually, let's not have a discussion about it. Let's just make it happen. We'll get
Yeah.
some gloves
Yeah.
and we'll live stream it.
I reckon
Yeah,
a whole
find out.
fight night.
Sweet.
We find some sponsor. We'll do a media vintage fight night with the
Yeah.
Levi sisters.
We'll do it
fighting.
at the 21st.
We'll get people fighting too. We'll get some undercards, and this is the main event.
If we get a photo
We'll take some
booth,
bets on
I'm
it.
just putting a ring on.
Mate, you and Tanir and Ethan on
On
comms.
comms, yeah.
Get you and T
Am
on
I the
comms.
Stuck on the
undercard?
sideline in the ring.
Yeah, best.
You give me the umpire.
Nah.
Oh yes.
No. No.
What'd you
Cannot
say?
be the umpire.
Who do you want the umpire to be? Ron, ready to do it?
It's either me or Ian. I'm definitely not stopping you.
So
Yeah.
Me?
yeah, I reckon you're a bit more 50-50. I reckon.
Do you have a lean? Where's your money going on these two?
Yeah, out of me and Maddie, choose.
Ooh.
They have different skill sets. It's tough.
Can I go for a double knockout?
Sure.
I can see it. You know, the punch at the same time. Just both out cold and just.
Oh, I thought you meant
And then
I
first to
punched
stand
her
up.
and then I knocked myself out.
Well,
Yeah,
that's on
yeah,
the,
you
that's on the
go like
cards too. That's also on the cards.
You reckon a double?
A double. You knock each other out at the same time, and then I get to raise my hand as the winner.
I like it. Reed, what do you reckon?
I reckon that Tegan will break the rules and just start pulling Maddie's hair.
I reckon.
Are you a bit of a cheat? Is that the sort of?
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah.
She
It's
gets-
not cheating.
She
if you
gets
don't-
too
if
angry.
you get caught. If you get caught, it's
Rules are there to be broken. I
Oh,
reckon.
okay.
Yeah.
I would hate
There
to see
we
you
go.
two.
Proves
on
my
tour,
point.
eh? Jesus. All right, look to wrap up. Any other questions, boys? Want to ask the girls before I do a little rapid fire to finish?
no, I've got nothing.
So what's next from here? Obviously, a bit of a break now. Where do we go to?
We start pre-season on the 16th of September.
Oh, okay. Good bit of time.
Yeah.
Are you chilling here, GC, for a bit?
Yeah,
GC.
GC till then. We
Yeah.
also got to find a new house.
Oh.
Yeah, in Sydney, so any sponsors?
Yeah. Play
She's
around.
really plugging these.
looking
I have
good.
to come to a fitness session with you.
Huh?
I have to come to a fitness session with you.
Yeah, you owe us one.
Yeah.
I was trying to tee it
Oh.
up and you just left me behind.
Wait, what
No,
happened?
No.
you left yourself behind.
Rian was meant to
Guys,
come
guys,
train
give
with
us a context here. What's going on?
Oh, so I messaged them because I wanted to get fitter because it was 7th season and I was not fit enough.
Mhm.
And then they were on the Gold Coast and I was like, oh, let me come down and train with you when you go do your fitness session.
And we gave him a time.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't rock up.
He's on to
Hayden
that.
Sargent came and ran. And I was like, we're waiting for Rian. I didn't even get a message till after.
No, I'm pretty sure I messaged you and then you were like, oh shit, I thought that you didn't want to do it.
That
Because
wa-
I missed
there
the
was-
first time.
There was a couple times.
Yeah, I missed the first time and then I was like, shit, okay, message me the next time.
Oh, we didn't
And
message
then
him the
he's
next
like,
time.
Put a story up and I was like, hey, what the fuck?
Liability.
He is. So Dubai. What's Dubai like as a place to go play?
I don't know, ask Rian.
Actually, you guys.
No, it's like such a cool tournament. It's like there's so many teams there. There's rugby sevens, there's netball, there's croquet, there's
CrossFit.
cricket, CrossFit.
Did you see
There's
these boys last year? And
of course we did. We were there with the bull sharks.
They,
Yeah, good
didn't
help.
you have the...
Bullshuckers.
What was your outfit for the finals footy?
We all dressed up as sheiks.
we literally,
Yeah, I saw that.
we dressed up in the traditional Arab kit, which the
nearly get
locals
kicked
thought
out
was
because
great.
you
Yeah, the
started-
locals,
No,
the locals
The funny
loved
thing
it.
is, the locals thought it was fucking hilarious.
It was the other people that
There
were
was
like,
people that were like, that's culturally insensitive and like trying to go at us, and we're like, this fella's like happy with it. He thinks it's hilarious, but it was all the other people, which is always the case. It's always
It's always the way.
ones that
Someone
think
wants to
something's
be
wrong.
offended on someone else's behalf.
Yeah.
It was, but it was a good time.
Dubai seemed like a good time.
Oh, I can't really remember the last night, but it was a great
It
time.
is a great time.
Yeah.
If you
I would always, I don't know who sent it to me, but maybe Tyler sent it to me, but you guys were staying next to a bell and you would wake up and start praying every morning.
It wasn't a bell. It was a,
So
it was
the
a
mosque-
mosque.
church.
The mosque goes off at 5 a.m. there every morning, and they put us right next to one.
My room was literally right
All our
next
rooms
to it,
were, like, next to it.
outside of it, and then
5
Yeah.
a.m.
We won't talk about it. We'll show you the video. But
Yeah, right.
the problem with it was, it sounds like someone's got one of those big JBL speakers and put it in your room. That's how loud it is, so you can't sleep through it.
first night was scary. It was like, what the fuck is this?
So we all wake up and like the group chat's going off, going, "Can everyone fucking hear that?"
Yeah,
like, is this a,
literally,
like we didn't
yeah.
know what it was.
Is this like a
So
bomb alert
is
or
this a
something?
bomb alert? Like what's going on? Like just start stressing, and then
Fuck.
someone's like, "Oh, it's the mosque," and they'd go for like the sad day was the worst.
Bro, where we were staying as well, I reckon that's like must be a dodgy part of Dubai. Like walking around on the
Budget.
street and there's people just like fucking
He
staring
was
at
firing
you.
it like, and all that the dodgy car places
Yeah,
around and stuff
hard.
too.
It's
Like, it was
like-
real dodgy.
I thought this
area.
meant to be like Lamborghinis and shit everywhere.
We're in like a 5-star hotel.
Yes,
We-
I know,
fair.
for sure.
To be fair, the first time I went to Dubai, when we went to the mall, I got spat on by one of the...
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
For wearing a
clothing or
singlet.
something?
for wearing a
Too much
singlet.
skin.
I went snowboarding.
He walked
in the
over
mall.
and spat on me.
Right.
You went what?
I went snowboarding in the mall
Yep.
and I did my AC joint right before the tournament started. And I couldn't pass left to right for like
Jesus.
the whole tournament.
Typical you.
Let's hope Damo doesn't hear about this for the first time right now on the podcast.
Damage is done, mate.
He doesn't listen.
He does. All right.
Cut.
And then Perth.
Jokes.
guys.
Just joking.
Yeah,
Wanna-
Perth Sevens. We didn't really have a great run.
That, yeah, you
This
want a bit of
year,
redemption
so-
in Perth this year.
Yeah, well, I'd like to play more than 6
Yeah, you
minutes.
two had-
I'd like to actually play with Maddi because we did tag team.
Tegan,
and
yeah,
I remember that podcast.
Mum
was
and
talking
Dad
about
were
that.
pretty pissed off about that because they came to Perth and we had some family and
Just
friends
both
come.
taking heads.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, can we just dip, girls? Bit of dip, please.
well, we're getting
But
that
to be
now. Okay,
fair-
so
To be fair, it's changing. I feel like we were in the roughest part, but like there's been some
we were the
worse
team
ones.
that copped
Yeah.
it 20.
There's been some worse
So
ones.
bad.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's so many like things that have happened and so many head-to-head.
adversity.
And I feel like we
It's 'cause
definitely
yous are
got the rough
best.
patch of
To
it.
be fair, we need to get better at discipline because we had 3 yellow cards in the first 3 games at the Olympics.
Yeah, true.
So
But it wasn't you two, though. for
no,
once.
oh no,
Uh,
it was Tegan.
yeah, it
Oh,
was
you
me.
won. You love a yellow card. eh?
Yeah, well, I don't know. They
She-
just
Tegan
always
just
go
likes
up.
a sub, so she just if they won't sub me, I'll
Yeah, okay.
Create your own destiny.
Anyway, final comments, boys? Anything?
To them or just in
In
general?
general, I'll do a rapid fire. We'll look at close.
All right, general is sort out Allianz Stadium.
Yeah, it's fucking.
We had
moist.
the Tars
J.
Brumbies game there, and it was horrible with the water. Who's the Roosters play on the
Yeah,
weekend?
there was a league game there.
Eels.
Woeful.
Eels.
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 Again. Yeah, that was so that's twice now this year that it's rained, and it was only raining half an hour before it. Like it wasn't raining all day. They just had 30 minutes of downpour, and the field was fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I
It's
don't,
only
and it's one of
raining
our big
stadium
stadiums in Australia. Like it's one of our main ones, and it just does not deal well with rain, and kind of ruins the quality of a game when the field's like that. Granted, the Roosters were still clinical, but you don't want to watch that shit. You don't want to watch people almost drowning every time they run into
Yeah.
a collision.
Get rid of the sternum law. You're ruining
Have you guys
club
seen the new
rugby in
sternum
Australia.
Law in QPR?
Yeah, I feel like we definitely can't bring that into 7s.
Yeah.
You can't bring it into freaking 15s. It's horrible.
Is that just tackling?
You're not allowed to
every
tackle.
time?
Yeah, you
That
can't
is-
tackle above.
It has to be under the ball.
So pretty much every time he gets
To be
tackled, he
fair-
gets a penalty.
Yeah, but I don't get penalties.
To be
It's
fair, I think it's a pretty silly rule,
They give them
especially.
lenience when they're tackling short people.
Hold on, we're gonna get
No,
this.
it doesn't.
Say it nice and loud for the people in the back.
What's your
I
thoughts,
think-
lads?
I think when you're playing teams like Fiji, it's pretty silly because you attack the ball knowing that they're going to offload,
Yeah.
and then you're just going to get penalties all day. Like, if that's the case, we might as well just start playing a Fiji-style game.
Do
I
you
don't
wanna-
think it'll happen.
in 7s.
I
It
don't
won't
think
happen
it'll
higher.
move up.
Well, it's
No, it
big
can't.
It's
in
not in
Europe.
Super.
It's big in Europe at the moment.
Really?
So not in the
Fucking
top
hell.
level, but all the juniors in Europe play it. The juniors here play it. Talking to a referee in our last game, I asked whether it would be around next year, and he kind of went, "Yep."
It's probably here to stay.
And for me, the problem is hopefully next year they police it better. and they understand the sternum. Because for me now, it's currently, if you make a big hit,
Yeah, literally.
it's
Like
above the
Nixon's a few
sternum.
weeks ago.
Oh my goodness.
So there was one on the weekend. You did the game.
Yeah.
The brothers one where the prop was offside and
Yeah.
got yellow carded for that. If that was a big hit, he hit him upright and it caught Louis like well above it. Like that should have been back to back yellow. That's almost a red. Like according to the law, I don't think it was
It
a red
wasn't,
card.
no,
Just
so-
throwing it out there.
I think in yellow. I think it was the right call. Yellow.
But like right call yellow. But if you're going by the law, that was 2 yellow card infringements. Like that's close to pushing a red. But
red.
they don't do it for certain people because if you don't make a big collision, then it's not much of an issue. If you lose the collision as the tackler, you're sweet. If
It's
you
too much
dominate
grey
the
area.
yeah,
collision,
see? That's
you
why I
win.
never get calls.
Because you what? Dominate.
Because I always win the collisions.
Yeah. Take your, itching to
Have
say
you
something?
seen the new rule that's coming into sevens about the penalty not being able to go to a scrum for the
No. What is it?
yeah?
no more scrums.
No more
They want
scrums.
to speed up the game. Same as
At all?
No,
quick
but if
tap.
you I think it's like if you get a penalty,
You can't
you
call
can't
a
call a
scrum.
scrum.
Oh.
Which is like when we play teams like Canada or we play like Ireland and stuff, they call it to slow it down.
Yeah.
like the mark law is now. If you call a mark, you can only kick
Yeah, yeah.
or tap. You can't call a scrum.
Right.
So they're
Then you
changing.
don't really get like set piece attack opportunities.
I'm excited for
It's
it.
probably good for you girls.
Yeah.
Fast pace.
I think
Yeah, shit,
we
yeah.
lose a lot of games when
Yeah.
they slow it down. So good.
I like it.
All right. Hope you're prepared for this rapid fire, mate.
Yeah. You guys got any?
No, it's all you. We left this for you.
Okay.
I'll try jumping if I think of something else.
All right. So I got just to finish, girls. Same question. Mad's answer. Then Teague, you go.
Okay.
All right. Worst teammate to room with.
Tegan.
That's very, very fast.
Well, I just
That's
think
rapid.
I just
No,
think
we can expand.
It's rapid fire.
Well,
yeah, just because we live together, I don't want to spend.
what
time.
is the issues? Is there?
No issues.
I'm
We
just
room
upset.
Do you guys even like each other?
we roomed together at the Com Games, and she got food poisoning.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only experience I've had with her. But who eats prawns in the middle of Birmingham?
Playing a tournament.
I would say Sid Taylor because she snored the first time I ever roomed with her.
Okay. Biggest ick.
High
Like-
socks
Rugby in rugby.
in rugby.
These socks? No, generally, just men.
Oh,
everyone.
I was gonna say in rugby if like they wear like
Yeah, the
high
up here.
socks. Yeah.
So they're professional.
No, they're not. No.
Do you wear high socks? Why'd you get so triggered by that?
Because, mate, if you go and watch any podcast, any comment section, all the old heads come in about professionalism, complaining that people don't wear their socks up anymore.
I hear it on the sideline.
Yeah,
Oh, your
pull your
fucking
socks
socks
up.
up.
It's all professionalism. Like, you're meant to wear your socks high. That's why we've got big socks like that.
Nah,
Yeah.
fuck. Nah.
That's
I don't
changed,
like
though,
it either.
yeah.
It sucks.
Ick.
During with like when people just chew. Like,
Yeah, that's
Like when I
Like-
was eating my apple earlier.
no. yeah.
No, but like you can hear or like chewing like. Do you not have like?
You can't
Yeah.
steal my ear.
I'm not. I was just adding
Elaborating.
on your.
Elaborating.
yeah, disagreeing.
I wouldn't. I don't know. An ick.
I just get lots
Talking
of
to multiple
Just
people.
men in general.
I reckon.
Pardon?
Yeah, talking to multiple people at the same
Okay.
time.
Alrighty. Most famous person has ever slid in your DMs.
I don't know if I can say. I guess I'm able in trouble.
Wait.
Sure, this is a. I would hate to see your DMs. You too.
Jeremiah Grant,
Mm, sure.
Tokyo
know who that is.
Olympics.
Okay.
When I took a photo with
Basketballer.
Kevin Durant, he plays. Who's he play for?
He just got traded.
NBA.
I think he's at the Suns now. Oh, he was at Blazers last year. He's been traded to someone this year. Rockets.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he's been traded to the Rockets.
What was his opener?
Well, I'm counting it, but I was like, oh, can you just airdrop it? And he was like, how about I get your number instead? And I send it. So I was like, now I've got his number.
You were in. Yeah, you were in.
Every time I get drunk, I'm like, should we call him? Should we call him?
Do you?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
Saturday, we will.
What's going on Saturday?
Lots going on. Teeks, who do you got?
I'd say an NRL boy.
You can't say his name.
No.
What sort of level? Like high level of
Yeah,
stature?
high
Well known.
level. Well
Okay.
known.
Sus. Those NRL boys, those leagueies,
Oh, they're bad, eh?
they're sus. All right, you're going your biggest night out ever. You got 3 teammates joining you. Who are the 3 Mads? So you and 3 others.
Isabella Nasser.
Mm-hmm.
Faith Nathan.
Oh no, she's not coming.
I'd say Charlotte Gaslick, but
Teague, you at home.
Hi, Tegan.
but she knows.
My friends.
Yeah,
Charlotte
not
knows
you.
why I'm choosing Tegan, so Tegan.
No, don't choose me for the sake of it.
Tegan's picking me up.
When does Tegan not go on a night out with you, though? So, does she count? Because she's going to be there anyway.
Well,
Tegan's like
apparently she's not
no,
invited.
but she's my +1, so
Okay.
she doesn't count.
Just make
Well,
your
you're
own
not
rules,
invited
sure.
to mine anyway.
I'm making my
so-
own rules.
Teagues, who's your 3?
I'd say Isabella Nasser as well.
That's a bit of a weapon, eh?
She's a weapon on the piers.
She just
Talented
taps.
family, that lot.
She
Talented
just
family.
taps.
Very talented.
I'd have to say Faith Nathan too.
Mm-hmm.
And
She's actually coming up this weekend. Surprise appearance.
Nice. And one more.
There goes the surprise.
Ta-ta. One more.
Come on, I know you want to say me.
No, not you.
You guys are good with this rapid fire, aren't you?
BB.
Teresa.
Oh, yeah, she's a good one.
She's a weapon.
I'd take BB.
Hell of a footy player. Her and Simon away.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. There's all those photos I saw in Europe was like all the girls in this big Samu
Yeah.
just chilling.
Make Aussie rugby great again. We're breeding athletes now.
Yeah, that's it.
Zane.
Yeah.
We're
Mate,
doing
those
it.
kids.
We're
Zane,
doing it.
Ilona.
Yeah, look out. Toughest opponent to face.
As I'm playing centre, I'd say Ilona Maher.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. When she runs it straight, God help me.
Mads?
I just think Michaela Blyde.
Yeah.
She's just real nippy.
You two have a bit of a rivalry, try scoring.
Yeah, we do. We always end up on opposite sides. I'm always against Portia. She's
You're tough.
she's
The
also.
goat.
I don't know who I'd prefer.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the New Zealand edges.
But I feel like I have a rivalry with Georgia Miller. I feel like
Oh,
because
okay,
we're both
similar.
young,
Yeah.
both
Both
same
up-and-coming
age and
stars.
up and coming together.
Yeah, okay.
Dubai final was one of them. So
Look out. Watch that space. Funniest teammate.
me,
Fuck.
All right, in the potty.
Yeah.
Soraya Pucky.
Sarai Pucky or Tia Hines.
Okay. And finally, 15 years from now, when it's all said and done, what are we doing? Where are the girls at? Mads.
Like what we're doing.
Yeah. What's the dream? 15 years from now, where are we, Mads? What's going on? That'd
How
be
old
Trying
is
to
that?
make a living.
How old is it? 15 years.
How old's that?
37
I'll be, yeah.
ish.
36,
Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
36, 37.
Well, ideally, I want to retire in Brisbane 32.
That's the plan. You'll be 30, so that's doable.
I'll be 30. Depends if I want to have a family or not.
Okay.
Hopefully, have a family. I kind of want to just be like, I don't know, kind of like that Portia Woodman kind of idol, Michaela Blyde, work my way up to
Yeah.
just status to be in the game long term, not just for the time I'm playing. So I'd love that. And yeah, kind of just build up a brand that I can hopefully eventually live off.
I like it.
Yep.
Do you ever do like studies or anything? Like other footy, I know, uni and stuff? Like,
No, I actually want to look into it. I really want to do media. So
we can do some co-coms.
yeah.
Welcome.
So you're saying you want to start a podcast?
We can be...
After today,
Yeah.
we've convinced you to start a podcast?
Pretty much. Welcome to mine and
There's a
Tegan's
bit of a-
We
podcast.
actually wanted
There's
to
a bit of
start a
opportunity there,
podcast.
The Levi's.
We were
That's a bit
actually-
of a-
Yeah.
Fine, I'll be a
Could
guest
throw a few
appearance.
people under the bus.
Rian.
Yeah, I'd say the same as Maddie. Build my brand. Hopefully, be living off my work and love to buy my parents a house. That would be
Lovely.
awesome.
That saves me.
Have a hot partner and some beautiful kids.
Shit, yeah.
They
I like
gotta
it.
be hot.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
You're
got to
out.
be hot.
Okay.
He has got to be hot.
No brain cells, just
Nah. Yeah.
Lovely. That's all I've got. Excellent, girls. Well, Maddi and Teagan Levi, thank you very much for joining the pod.
thank you.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you.
Thanks
Very
for
nice.
having us.
Final thoughts?
Thanks.
Get rid of the sternum law.
Yeah, I already
Get
said
rid
it.
of it.
Get rid of
All
it.
right. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Oh,
Bye.
that's what we're gonna do now.
What are you doing?
Everyone that we get on, they're gonna.
Get rid of it.
There we go.
Get rid of
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
All right.
You done?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, girls.
Hit the button.
Bye.